Congratulations, class of 2021. In this short little video, I'm going to do my little mini commencement speech, summarizing the lessons I've learned throughout my study of successful people over the years, successful students, successful business people, athletes, and what I've learned from a recent high school graduation that I attended. So hopefully it provides you value and answers a lot of common questions, a lot of concerns, anxieties that graduates have as they enter college or as they enter the real professional world or as they start their own life into the army or starting a business. So let's get started. First off, I want to really nod and pay a bit of respect to the people I saw give commencement speeches at the graduation I attended. There were a lot of school executives there, principals, teacher of the year, county executives, and I really learned how much someone can make an impact, how much someone can care about their students and their success, and how much that really makes a difference. The wisdom that they shared really showed that they understood the world very well. So I think that leads to my first lesson that I've learned through my studies, which is that true success doesn't have to do with how much money is in your bank, how famous you are, how cool you are compared to other people. Well, maybe the last one. But in reality, true success is about what fulfills you internally. You see, a lot of these teachers, sure, they may not be making a lot of money, but the impact that they've had on these kids, the amount of wisdom that they shared through their speeches, and the fulfillment and happiness they get from helping all those students means so much. And when you compare that to some people who maybe make a lot of money, but they hate their job, they're not fulfilled, they work a soul draining investment bank job that takes up 90 hours a week, who really wins out? Obviously, you would want both. You would want fulfillment, happiness, wealth, and work-life balance. But it's a tough world, and sometimes you can't get all that, and sometimes you don't need all that. And that's one thing I learned from these teachers. The second lesson I've learned from my teachers, and I had my own insights based off my own study of successful people, hundreds of books, is how do you address those uncertainties? Do you go down this door or do you go down that door? Do you take this job or do you follow your passion this other way? How do you know what you do? Can you even make it out there in the world on your own? What if you don't know what to do? What if you don't know if to continue or to give up? Some of these teachers I mentioned, they gave some great insights. If you don't know which way to go, just choose one. That's your decision. If you choose the wrong one, that's okay. That's just something along your way to teaching you the right way to go. Something that fits you better. If you don't know what you're going to do moving forward, reach out. Reach out to colleagues, reach out to mentors, reach out to experts, reach out to the internet. There's info out there to help you. And if you're uncertain or you're still figuring it out, everyone still is to an extent, no matter how old they are. So with all that being said, I want to add my own 2 cents here and say that's all definitely true, and that we live long lives. I'm excited to see not just what you'll do in your 20s and 30s, but I'm more excited what you'll do in your 30s, 40s, and especially 50s, 60s, and 70s. You see, we live much longer than people think and that we used to live. And because of that, we have so much more time to build something incredible. If you look at incredible business people like Warren Buffett, he really didn't seriously get going until his 50s or 60s in terms of net worth. Before that, no one knew who he was. It took him time to start to build that snowball that led to his success. And every year after that, every decade, he's worked on greater and greater, more amazing brands and projects as an investor. And now in his 80s, he's still living it up and enjoying what he does. So don't feel like you're out of time or that it's too late. I know that was a very tough pill for me to swallow because I didn't believe it. But then I started to learn more from successful people, read their stories, hear what they had to say, understand the name of the game, and patience. And you just may never know. That leads me to my second to last tip for you all, which is that while some of you were star students or star athletes or just did well in school and will go on to do great things at a great school and then get a great career, I'm happy for you all. Some of you may have come out of school just doing average or even below average. And that's okay, because there's many different ways you can express yourself and make a living and have fulfillment in life. And oftentimes, school is just one set of rules and it doesn't translate to success in the real world. There's plenty of entrepreneurs who bucked and didn't enjoy the school system and dropped out of school or just did poorly. Gary Vaynerchuk, Richard Branson, and they went on to start successful businesses and make a lot of money. And it's not about making billions. Maybe it's just about making however much you want or need to be happy, which could just be much less than that. Moreover, your journey may be different than the standard cookie cutter path. Maybe it's not at a job 9 to 5. Maybe it is. Maybe it's at a more flexible job where you're working remotely and working the hours you want, or you're working as a freelancer, or you're starting your own business, or you choose to just express yourself in a different way as an actor or a YouTuber. It doesn't matter. But just realize that just because your performance wasn't stellar in school doesn't mean that you're doomed. In fact, it could be just a tiny stage in your life. You have a lot of people, Steven Spielberg being one, who is pretty ordinary, average in every way, invisible in school, and then went on to find his passion in film and become one of the greatest filmmakers of all time. So you never know where you may lead. Maybe you'll be a late bloomer, maybe you won't. But that leads me to my final advice, which hopefully ties back together with my first piece of advice. And that is to enjoy the entire journey. I definitely made the mistake of suffering, choosing to suffer too much during the first few phases of my life, because I thought I had to. I thought I had to make all the sacrifices and I couldn't do anything fun. But then I ended up doing fun stuff anyways because I had the time or I was too burnt out to do it. And it was just needless heartache. There's fun that can be had throughout your life, no matter how tough things can seem to be. And in that way, you don't have to be this person who waits until the end of his life or the second half for something that will hopefully make him a lot happier. Find ways of enjoying your life throughout. And as a lot of the other teachers I saw give their speech saying, this is your time to spread your wings. No one knows